Scattered beneath our feet are traces of the past, fragments of lives once lived, moments frozen in time, and secrets buried for centuries. Every artifact pulled from the earth tells a story, offering a glimpse into lost civilizations, their triumphs, struggles, and even their deepest fears. But history isn't always straightforward. Some discoveries don't just fill in the gaps. They raise new questions, challenge what we thought we knew, and in some cases, shouldn't even exist. From ancient artifacts that seem centuries ahead of their time to remains that defy explanation, these 15 discoveries go beyond ordinary archaeology. They force us to rethink the past and wonder how much of history is still waiting to be rewritten. All right, let's start off this list with number 15, the Saltman mummies. Deep in northern Iran, an ancient salt mine has been preserving the dead for thousands of years, turning unfortunate miners into human time capsules. The Chabad underground salt mine, first discovered in 1993, is home to the Saltman mummies, a group of men whose bodies have been naturally mummified by the salt-rich environment. These men, some over 4,800 years old, are so well preserved that their skin, hair, and even organs remain visible. The first discovery was an elderly man with a long white beard, still clutching an iron knife, gold earrings dangling from his ears. He likely died around 200 AD, but he wasn't alone. Since then, 5 more mummies have been found, all believed to be miners who perished in accidents, or worse, were buried alive. These eerie remains might have inspired ancient myths, but they also remind us just how brutal life could be. Number 14, the alien screw fossil. It's not every day that scientists dig up something that looks like it belongs on an alien spaceship, but that's exactly what happened in Russia. A bizarre 2-inch-long screw-shaped fossil was discovered in Kuga, a region that just so happened to be struck by a meteorite 300 million years ago. Naturally, the internet went wild. Was this proof of extraterrestrial technology? Had aliens been tinkering on Earth long before humans even existed? Before UFO enthusiasts could celebrate, experts stepped in with a more grounded explanation. The so-called alien screw was actually a crinoid fossil, a prehistoric marine creature related to starfish and sea urchins. Crinoids first appeared over 488 million years ago and left behind these spiral-shaped remains. So, while it's not proof of ancient astronauts, it's still a fascinating reminder of Earth's bizarre prehistoric life. For now, E.T. can stay in the movies. Number 13, the largest mass child sacrifice in history. In 2019, archaeologists in Peru uncovered something both horrifying and unprecedented: the remains of 227 children, all sacrificed in what is now considered the largest known mass child sacrifice in history. The discovery, near the coastal town of Huanchaco, revealed skeletons of children aged 5 to 14, their bodies carefully placed facing the sea. Even more chilling? Some still had preserved skin and hair, making their final moments eerily tangible. This ritual, performed 500 years ago by the Chimu civilization, likely took place during a period of devastating El Niño rains. Desperate to appease their gods, the Chimu may have believed that sacrificing children would restore balance. But did it work? We'll never know. What we do know is that their desperation left behind an unthinkable tragedy, one that archaeologists are still piecing together, bone by bone, centuries later. Number 12, the mystery of the hobbits. Modern humans come in all shapes and sizes, but no one expected to find an ancient human relative that was barely 3.5 feet tall. In 2003, on Indonesia's island of Flores, researchers unearthed the remains of a tiny humanoid species that didn't fit into any known branch of our evolutionary tree. Dubbed Homo floresiensis, but better known as hobbits, These pint-sized beings baffled scientists. They weren't just small humans. Their skeletal structure suggested they were an entirely separate species, distinct from both Homo sapiens and Homo erectus. But here's the real kicker. Some evidence suggests they may have lived as recently as 50,000 years ago, meaning they might have coexisted with early modern humans. Were they a lost offshoot of our lineage? An evolutionary anomaly? Or something else entirely? The mystery of the hobbits remains unsolved, but one thing's certain, they weren't just fantasy. Number 11. The world's oldest 3D map. Deep inside a cave near Paris, scientists believe they've found the world's oldest 3D map, an ancient rendering of the surrounding wetlands, carved directly into the cave floor by Paleolithic humans. Dr. Medard Thiry and Dr. Anthony Milnes suspect that early inhabitants sculpted the land to mirror their environment, marking out rivers and terrain in a way that's eerily similar to modern cartography. But the discovery didn't stop there. Alongside the map, researchers found cave engravings, one depicting horses, the other something far more unexpected. A rock formation appears to have been deliberately shaped into the form of a woman's pelvis and thighs, with rainwater pooling precisely in the carved vulva. Was this an early form of fertility symbolism or something more? Whatever the answer, this discovery adds yet another layer of mystery to humanity's earliest artistic and scientific achievements. All right, now let's talk about Number 10. Humans and giant sloths. For decades, scientists believed that massive Ice Age creatures like giant sloths, mammoths, and saber-toothed tigers vanished around 11,700 years ago. But new research is rewriting that timeline. Turns out some of these ancient beasts were still lumbering around just 3,500 years ago. A team of scientists in Brazil recently found fossilized teeth fragments of giant sloths and prehistoric llamas at sites in Itapapoca and the Rio Miranda Valley. When they ran carbon dating tests, they were stunned. The results showed these creatures coexisted with humans for thousands of years longer than previously thought. This discovery raises an intriguing question. Did early humans have a role in their extinction, or did they simply witness the last of these giants fading from existence? One thing's for sure, history isn't as set in stone as we once believed. Number 9. The 22,000-year-old handcart. Picture this. Deep in the white sands of New Mexico, researchers uncovered something unexpected. Fossilized tracks that might just be the oldest evidence of human transportation. These marks, dating back 22,000 years, appear to be left by ancient handcarts, dragged through the mud by some of the earliest known Americans. But here's the twist. Wheels weren't invented yet. Instead, experts believe these early humans built a rudimentary travois, a wooden sled-like device made of poles, to transport their belongings across the landscape. To test this theory, archaeologists recreated similar carts and dragged them across wet ground in Britain and the US, finding that the results match the ancient tracks almost perfectly. This discovery adds yet another piece to the puzzle of human migration, hinting that our ancestors may have been far more resourceful than we ever imagined. Number 8. Meteorite iron. The treasure of Villena, discovered in 1963 in Alicante, Spain, is one of the most breathtaking Bronze Age hoards ever found. 66 gold bowls, bracelets, and ornaments, crafted with a level of skill far beyond their time. But recent analysis revealed something even stranger hidden among the glittering artifacts. Two pieces, an iron hemisphere covered in gold and a corroded bracelet, weren't made from ordinary metal. Scientists, using mass spectrometry, confirmed that the iron in these items came from a meteorite. Unlike earthly iron, meteoric iron contains high levels of nickel, a cosmic fingerprint that links these objects to materials that literally fell from the sky. This isn't the first time such a discovery has been made. Tutankhamun's famous dagger was also forged from extraterrestrial metal. Did ancient civilizations understand the rarity of this space-borne iron, or was it simply a case of them using whatever materials they could find? Number 7. The world's oldest poisoned arrow. In 1983, archaeologists unearthed an unassuming antelope bone in South Africa's Kruger Cave. For decades, it sat in storage, forgotten among countless other artifacts. But in 2022, researchers decided to take a second look, and what they found was chilling. The bone wasn't just a relic. It contained the remnants of the world's oldest known poisoned arrow, dating back 7,000 years. X-ray imaging revealed 3 barbed arrowheads lodged inside, each coated with traces of an ancient poison, a sophisticated blend of plant-based toxins, expertly crafted to take down prey. This discovery proves that early humans weren't just skilled hunters. They were chemists, mastering the art of mixing deadly compounds long before modern science. It's a reminder that innovation isn't a modern invention. Our ancestors were far more advanced than we give them credit for. Number 6. The mysterious stone rituals of Danish islanders. Thousands of years ago, the ancient inhabitants of Bornholm, a Danish island, performed a strange ritual. They carved intricate sun symbols onto stones and then buried them in ditches as if making an offering. For years, archaeologists puzzled over why they did this, until now. In 2025, researchers linked these sunstones to a catastrophic event. Around 5,000 years ago, a massive volcanic eruption darkened the skies, blocking out the sun for months. For a farming society dependent on sunlight, this was nothing short of apocalyptic. Scientists now believe these stones were sacrifices, desperate pleas for the sun's return. According to Rune Iversen from the University of Copenhagen, the islanders may have believed these offerings would protect them from further climate disasters. Whether a desperate act of survival or an expression of gratitude, these buried stones stand as eerie reminders of a time when nature's fury ruled human lives. Number 5. The first pyramid of man. Forget everything you thought you knew about pyramids, because the world's oldest known pyramid isn't in Egypt. It's in Kazakhstan. Hidden in the Karaganda region, archaeologists unearthed a massive pyramid structure dating back over 5,000 years, more than 1,000 years before the Great Pyramids of Giza. Built during the end of the Bronze Age, it was likely a tomb for a local king, standing as a testament to an ancient civilization lost to time. For years, its discovery was kept under wraps, with archaeologist Viktor Novigonov hinting at undisclosed reasons for the secrecy. But now, as researchers dig deeper, they're uncovering more than just stone ruins. They're unraveling an entire forgotten world. While the structure itself has crumbled under the weight of time, its existence forces us to rethink the origins of pyramid building and the civilizations that first reached for the sky. Well, we know nothing about our own history. What a shame. Number 4. The woman frozen for 200 years. In the frozen wilderness of Yakutia, Siberia, where temperatures plunge to a bone-shattering minus 60 degrees Celsius, time has a way of standing still, sometimes quite literally. That's what Dr. Elena Solovova and her team discovered when they unearthed the mummified remains of a woman perfectly preserved in permafrost for 2 whole centuries. She wasn't just a relic, she was a window into a lost world. Dressed in fur-lined boots and traditional Yakut clothing, with a small cross resting on her chest, she lay undisturbed, as if she had simply fallen into a deep sleep. Initially, researchers considered removing her skull for further study, but ultimately they chose respect over curiosity, leaving her to rest where she had been for 200 years. Siberia has a habit of preserving the past, and this isn't the first time its frozen grip has revealed secrets. Just recently, 2 lion cubs were found trapped in ice. 26,000 years old, yet still looking as if they had only just fallen asleep. Number 3. Mother holding child fossil. A mother's arms are made of tenderness, and children sleep soundly in them. Victor Hugo's words couldn't ring truer than in this case. In Taiwan, archaeologists uncovered a breathtaking 4,800-year-old fossil of a mother cradling her child, an intimate moment frozen in time. Amidst 48 other remains, this one stood out, not because of grandeur, but because of the sheer, quiet humanity it captured. The mother, measuring about 60 centimeters, held her child, who was about 50 centimeters, in an embrace that had endured for millennia. It was a reminder that love, even in the face of death, is timeless. The site itself, located near what was once a coastal village, belonged to Taiwan's earliest farmers. Scattered around were over 200 shark teeth, leaving researchers puzzled. Were they tools, jewelry, or something more spiritual? Whatever the reason, one thing remains clear. Time may have buried them, but it never erased their story. We mean, just look at them. A relationship you can't and never find anywhere on Earth. You can't replace mom love. Number 2. Fossil of a giant creature. Blue whales hold the crown as Earth's biggest creatures, right? Well, meet Peru's Colossus, a prehistoric beast so massive it could have made a blue whale look like a sardine. Discovered in the coastal deserts of Peru, this oceanic giant lived between 38 and 40 million years ago, weighing a staggering 180 tons, making it one of the heaviest creatures to have ever existed. But unlike the toothy predators of the past, this behemoth was no hunter. Think of it like a supersized manatee, lazily floating through ancient waters while feasting on crustaceans and mollusks. Scientists still haven't found its skull, so its full diet remains a mystery. But one thing's certain: if you ever thought blue whales were as big as it gets, Peru's Colossus just rewrote the rules. Number 1. 500-million-year-old fossil. Sometimes the best discoveries happen when you least expect them. Just ask Mr. Yang, a father from China who set out on a simple hiking trip and ended up uncovering something 500 million years old. While exploring near Langgong Temple in Shandong Province with his 5-year-old son, he spotted a peculiar-looking rock. His son, treating it like a real-life treasure hunt, excitedly pointed out the odd patterns on its surface. Turns out, the little adventurer had stumbled upon a 500-million-year-old trilobite fossil, a relic from the Cambrian period, long before dinosaurs ever existed. What started as an afternoon hike turned into a moment straight out of an Indiana Jones movie. And who knows, maybe this discovery sparked a passion for archaeology in the next generation of explorers. Well, we really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, well, please like it, share it, and smack that subscribe button so you can never miss any of our latest stories. Thanks for tuning in with us, and we'll see you soon in the next one.